pressure rising, pushing down on me, oh Lord. Pressure, 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 pressure. Feel the pressure, 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 pressure. Living by the weekend, 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 I'm living by the weekend. No, going out tonight, going out tonight, baby, you and I, going out tonight, going out tonight, going out tonight, baby, you and I, going out tonight, going out tonight, going out tonight, baby, you and I, going out tonight, going out tonight, going out tonight, baby, It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long day, and you got the Sandman at the door. But hang on, leave the TV on, and let's do it anyway. It's okay, you can always sleep through work tomorrow, okay? Hey, hey, tomorrow's just your future yesterday.
Poor back timing and technical issues. That is what you have come to expect from Tom's Friday Night Stay at Home quiz. It is quiz number 11, week number 12. I am slowly going insane. As of next week, that will be a quarter of a year that we've been doing this quiz, which is slightly longer than I intended it to be when when I kind of offered it to my family for a Friday evening. But there we go. We've got 32 teams playing along today, and they are, as we have been for the last few weeks, playing for one of these mugs. One of these mugs has already been won by last week's winners. but I forgot to find out which one they wanted. So the one that they didn't want, that is up for grabs today. So I don't know whether to make it the winner or something obscure like the team that comes in 10th place. But I feel people might be angry, so maybe I'll leave it as the winner. So the winner this week gets the last remaining mug, and then I'm down to just one, which is my one that I'm keeping, because it's got a little picture of me on it, that I think Helen drew. I have taken down all statues in my room, so there's no controversy there, and as far as I'm concerned, there were only ever 11 episodes of Fawlty Towers, and I don't know what Little Britain was, so I think we're in the clear. And we can get cracking with round number 1. Round number 1 is the general knowledge round. And question number 1 is, who has left radio station LBC this week? Who has left radio station LBC this week? Question number 2. What has BA started selling to raise some more cash? What has BA started selling to raise some more cash? Question number 3, related to the news this week. Which famous film has HBO pulled from its online streaming service? Which famous film has HBO pulled from its online streaming service this week? Question number 4. A statue of Edward Colston ended up in which city's harbour this week? A statue of Edward Colston ended up in which city's harbour this week? Right, moving on to some general knowledge questions rather than this week. Which company builds the world's largest commercial passenger aeroplane? Which company builds the world's largest commercial passenger aeroplane? Question number 6. Which is Europe's most southerly capital city? Looking for the name of the city, don't need the country. Which is Europe's most southerly capital city?
Where do I go? Give me some sort of sign. You hit me with lightning. Maybe I'll come alive. Hard times. Gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times. Gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times. Hard times. And I gotta hit rock bottom. Tell my friends I'm coming down. We'll kick it when I hit the ground. Tell my friends I'm coming down. We'll kick it when I hit the ground. 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 Hard times. Gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times. Gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times. Hard times. Hard times. Hard times. Hard times. Gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times. Gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times. Hard times. Hard times. I gotta get to rock bottom.
Question in the chat. Do I mean mainland or all of Europe? All of Europe. Not just the mainland. I believe. I'm pretty sure. I'm just looking on a map. Don't say it out loud. Yeah, all of Europe, not mainland. And someone asking how to join. Go to quiz.tombryant.co.uk. I've just reopened it, so some latecomers will be allowed in for the next 5 minutes. Cool. What are we doing? Question number 7 is what we're doing. Question number 7 is the pound sign appears above which number on a keyboard? This is going to be very easy for those of you who are currently sat at a computer. But there you go. The pound sign appears above which number on a keyboard?
Take a holiday. Is this what you want? To have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Lie around all day, have a drink to chase yourself and tourists, yeah, that's what I hate. You said we're going wrong, we've all become the same, we dress the same ways, only our accents change. So have a night.
Question number 8. Who hosted the first season of Big Brother UK? Who hosted the first season of Big Brother UK?
Have a nice day. Swimming
Question number 9. Which Scottish city boasts an underground train system? Which Scottish city boasts an underground train system? And finally, question number 10 of round number 1. Which London hotel was the first in the world to offer a private bathroom for each guest? Which London hotel was the first in the world to offer a private bathroom for each guest? Here are all of your questions. Submit your answers online. I will get to marking them, as will my mother, who is helping out as ever. If any of the marking is wrong, it's her, not me, promise. But yes, I'll be back with you once we've got these marked. What are we doing? Turning the music down. Right, let's do some answers. We've got answers from most teams. We've got some lingering behind, but we'll see if they put any answers in. Question 1 was... Oh, there you go, there's the answer. Was about the person who's left LBC this week. It is Nigel Farage. Hopefully fading into irrelevance, because that's what we've all been hoping for quite a long time. BA have started selling artwork to raise some more cash. We had a couple of people thinking they were selling planes or selling slots, but they have some historic, well, expensive artwork that they've been selling. The film that HBO's pulled from its online streaming service is Gone with the Wind. Most people getting that right. The Edward Colston statue ended up in Bristol Harbour this week. The company that builds the world's largest commercial aeroplane is Airbus, the A380, double-decker the whole way along. Yes. Europe's most southerly capital city is Nicosia in Cyprus. Yeah, now I look silly for not knowing that it wasn't mainland Europe, because obviously Cyprus is an island, but I just had to check. You know how these things work. I end up asking you a cricket question and I get it wrong 17 times. Question number 7 is the pound sign appears above the number 3. Who hosted the first season of Big Brother UK was Davina McCall. I was trying to throw you off the scent because she hosted all of the Channel 4 ones, but I was asking about the first season to make you think that there was a different presenter. The Scottish city that boasts an underground train system is Glasgow, not Edinburgh. And the London Hotel. Loads of people put the Savoy, but the website that I got my answers from, not necessarily right, said it was the Ritz. So let's have a look. Astonishingly, contrary to normal behaviour, we have no teams with full marks. So we're going to see nobody with a clean sweep this week. We do have 5 teams in joint first place. We've got Now We're Sucking Diesel, Mrs., Tom's Pac-Man Suit Made Me Quiz, Winning Team Name, and Social Distant from First Place. Social Distant from first place is not socially distant from first place at all. So we'll see if they can stay up there or whether they end up falling back down. Thanks as always to Emily for doing the music. Thanks to my mum for helping to mark. And it is Doris's birthday today, so happy birthday, Doris. You probably don't know Doris, but how to describe her? She's actually called Denise, but everyone calls her Doris. She married someone with the surname Bottoms, and she named her second child William, so he's called. You can work it out yourself. Round number 2, question number 1. Oh, no, round number 2 is different from usual. Round number 2 is usually the quotes round. But this week we are having something different. This was suggested to me by a friend who was very high on painkillers at the time. So it's slightly different from the suggestion that he gave, but similar. I'm going to give you 2 things, and one of them is higher than the other one, and I want to know which is the highest. When you put your answer in, look at the question online and put in the phrase that is the right side, because that will make my life easier marking it. I will go through an example with you so that you understand what's going on. But the first question, I want to know which has the most calories in it, a Domino's large margarita slice or a Smarties McFlurry. Which of these has the most calories in it, a Domino's large margarita slice or a Smarties McFlurry? Argue amongst yourselves. Right, your second one. You don't have to think too much harder because this is also the most calories. I want to know whether there are more calories in a half-litre tub of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough or in 2 Big Macs. Is there more calories in half a litre of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream or 2 Big Macs?
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. Wait, that's some shit. And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But forget you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't afford a Ferrari, but that don't mean I can't get you there. I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more Atari. But the way you play your game ain't fair. I picture the fool that falls in love with you. Oops, she's a gold. Well, just don't you know.
It's good. I can see the arguments about which is higher flaming up in the WhatsApp groups that I'm in. It's good fun. Number 3 is about IMDb ratings. Which of these has a higher IMDb rating? Is it The Office UK or Friends? Which has a higher IMDb rating, The Office UK or Friends?
Forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. Wait, that's some shit. And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you. Now I know that I had to borrow, beg and steal and lie, cheat. Trying to keep you, trying to please you. Being in love with your ass ain't cheap. Now I picture the fool that falls in love with you. Oops, she's a gold. Well, just don't you know. Ooh, I've got some news for you. Ooh, I really hate your ass.
Right, your 4th highest IMDb ratings again. Which is higher, the IMDb rating for Iron Man or for Batman Begins? For Iron Man or Batman Begins? Now, if these ratings have changed since like 9 o'clock last night, then I apologise, but the answers that I'm going for.
Wait, that's some shit. And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you. Now, baby, why you wanna hurt me so bad? So bad. I tried to tell my mama, but she told me this is one for your dad. Yeah, she did. And I'm like, why?
Right, number 5, still on IMDb ratings. Which has the higher IMDb rating, The Simpsons or Family Guy? Which has the highest IMDb rating, The Simpsons or Family Guy?
relics, disciples and the young, a whole of records or numbers or spaces still undone, ruins or relics.
Sorry, I'm texting too many people. Number 6, weeks at number 1. Which of these songs has had the most weeks at number 1? Shape of You, the Ed Sheeran song, or Love Is All Around by Wet Wet Wet? Which of these two songs has had the most weeks at number 1? Shape of You or Love Is All Around?
You can forget all future plans. No, I touch my hands with the turning of the scans from the night to the light. All plans are golden in your hands.
Question number 7. We're still looking at weeks at number 1. Which of these songs had the most weeks at number 1? These Words or If You're Not the One? That's These Words, which is Natasha Bedingfield, or If You're Not the One, which is Daniel Bedingfield. Which of those had the most weeks at number 1?
It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar. Strawberries on a summer evening. Baby, you're the end of June. I want your belly and that summer feeling.
I like that there's been a whole chat in the YouTube comments that I've just completely ignored because I didn't have the windows open. The UK office, it said it in big letters next to the office where it said UK. But you're all good. Which of these cities has the highest population? And this is the 2020 population that I found on a website that may or may not have been dodgy. Which of these has the highest city population? Baku or Brisbane? Baku or Brisbane?
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar high. Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go without. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
And which of these two cities has the highest population? Is it Oslo or Indianapolis? Question number 9. Oslo or Indianapolis?
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar.
And finally, question number 10. Which of these cities has the highest population? Detroit or Belfast? Detroit or Belfast? Probably the only time you'll see those two cities in the same list, but there you go. Here's all your questions. Get your answers in. We'll get them marked. You know the drill. I'll be back in a bit.
She feels her clothes, she looks just like them girls in Vogue. I love the way she plays it cool. I think that she is beautiful. She's so lovely, 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 she's so lovely. She's pretty, a fixie. She's got a boyfriend though, and that's a pity. She's flirty, turned dirty. Ain't that the age a girl gets really dirty? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. She's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely. Oh, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely, she's so lovely. A stunner, I wonder, was she this fit when she was 10 years younger? Come see me discreetly. She said she's got a trick or two to teach me. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I think that you are lovely. 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 I think that you are beautiful. She's so lovely. 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 I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know how we'll make it through this. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Woke up cold one Tuesday. I'm looking tired and feeling quite sick. I felt like there was something missing in my day-to-day life. So I quickly opened the wardrobe, pulled out some jeans and a t-shirt that seemed clean, topped it off with a pair of old shoes that were ripped around the seams. And I thought these shoes just don't suit me. Hey, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right. I said, hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting, no short on money but long on time. Slowly strolling in the sweet sunshine, and I'm running late and I don't need an excuse, 'cause I'm wearing my brand new shoes.
Right, let's go through some answers. This was not a high-scoring round for most people. Quite difficult, some of these. But that's good. It saves people getting 10 out of 10 for quotes, and people can feel good about knowing the difference in calories between a Big Mac and a McFlurry. Not that that's one of the questions. Domino's or McFlurry? Before we start, I'm not having any complaints about the numbers that I've got here. All of the numbers were from reputable sources, and I found them yesterday, and I ain't taking any arguments. Domino's large margarita slice wins by 4 kilocalories. So Domino's was the highest one there. The second one, Ben & Jerry's or Big Macs. There is more in the Ben & Jerry's. More in half a litre of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream than in 2 Big Macs. Which is worrying, because I did an entire tub of Ben & Jerry's the other night. The highest rating is for Friends, 8.9 over The Office's 8.5. Number 4, the rating for Iron Man or Batman Begins. Batman Begins was the higher one there. And number 5, the higher rating was The Simpsons. So that takes us on to weeks at number 1. So Ed Sheeran or Wet Wet Wet. Wet 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 wins 15 weeks against Ed Sheeran's 14. So love is all around 1 there. These words, or if you're not the one. These words wins here, 2 weeks at number 1. So Natasha Bedingfield wins, except she doesn't because Daniel Bedingfield had one that had like 5 weeks at number 1. But there you go. And the city populations, these were quite close, the city populations, just to make it harder. Brisbane, slightly more people in it than Baku. Oslo and Indianapolis, Oslo, slightly more people. And Detroit versus Belfast, it is Detroit that has the most people in it. That has shaken up the leaderboard. We've got 2 people in joint first place. We've got Mrs. and winning team name. So winning team name living up to their name at the moment. Endgame, 1 point behind them. And then below them we have 2 meters for Heaters, Cucumber, A Tale Never Told, Mograts and Quarantine. So it's still quite close at the top. We've got 8 teams within 2 points of each other. 2 teams right at the top. They're the ones to beat. And you can beat them in the best round that we have ever had on the quiz. This is the cheese pictures round. I am going to show you a picture of some cheese, and you've got to tell me what cheese it is. That's what we're doing. This is your first cheese.
Light, a dress I'm sure of, but it's not just right. It started straight off, coming here as hell. That's his first words. We asked what he meant. He said, "Where you from?" We told him a lot. We take a holiday. Is this what you want? So have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Right, that's your first cheese. This is cheese number 2. Which cheese is this?
Lie around all day, have a drink to chase yourself and tourists, yeah, that's what I hate. He said we're going wrong, we've all become the same, we dress the same ways, only our accents change. So have a nice day, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
You will be able to see all the cheeses at the end of the round, so you may change your answers, but each cheese only comes up once. Cheese number 3 is on the screen for you now. This is cheese number 3.
Ocean, that be my dish. I'll drive around all day and kill processed fish. It's all money gum, no artists anymore. You're only in it now to make them more, more, more. So have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice.
On your screen now, you are going to see cheese number 4. What cheese is this?
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
So at my show on Monday, I was hoping someday you'd be on your way to better things. It's not about your makeup or how you try to shape up to these tiresome paper dreams. Paper dreams, honey. So now you pour your heart out, you're telling me you're far out. Not about to lie down for your cause, but you don't pull my strings.
Cheese number 5. Which cheese is this?
Oh,
in her mindset, tempered furs and spangled boots. Looks are deceiving, make me believe it. And these tiresome paper dreams, honey. Yeah. So won't you go?
Question number 6, or cheese number 6. What is this cheese?
And you don't pull my strings, 'cause I'm a better man, moving on to better things. But oh, I love her because she moves in her own way. But oh, she came to my show just to hear about my day. Yes, I wish I would ever make it through all the summers. Get them up, instead of kicking us back down to the surface. Yes, I wish that I would ever made it through all the summers. Get them up, instead of kicking us back down to the surface.
Cheese number 7 is this one. What cheese is this?
I love her because she moves in her own way. But she came to my show just to hear about my day. But I love her because she moves in her own way. But she came to my show just to hear about my day.
Cheese number 8 is this one. What cheese is this?
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I've been here too long. The songs on the radio sound the same. Everybody just looks the same. But then last night was so much fun. And now your sheets are dirty, the streets are dirty too. But you never look back over what you've done. Remember when you were young, you'd lose yourself. In the morning, you know we won't remember a thing. In the morning, you know it's gonna be alright. Wake him up on the mark, put him on the stage. Well, the boy can't help it, it's not his fault. Just a dangerous, dangerous age. Then every night it's still so much fun. And you're still out there, darling, clinging on to the wrong ideas. But I never regret anything.
You need cheese number 9, don't you? I mean, need is a strong word, but here it is anyway. Here's cheese number 9. What cheese is this?
You won't remember a thing. In the morning, you know it's gonna be alright. In the morning, you know we won't remember a thing. In the morning, you know it's gonna be alright. In the morning, you know we won't remember.
Right, and finally, what is cheese number 10? I'll leave that up for a couple of seconds, then I'll put all of the cheeses up. Submit your answers, we'll get them marked.
In the morning, you know we won't remember a thing. In the morning, you know it's gonna be alright. Are you really gonna do it this time? 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 Are you really gonna do
Right, let's get cracking with some of these cheeses then, shall we? Cheeses! Don't know what my voice did there. Brilliant. This one, some people thinking it was a double Gloucester imposter, but it was, in fact, Red Leicester. Number 2 looked a bit like Camembert, but one of the later ones might be Camembert. It was Brie. Number 3, I hope you're all having a gooder time. Number 4 is Stilton. Number 5, lots of people giving the full title of Wensleydale with cranberries, but Wensleydale was fine. This one, what does a cheese say when it looks at itself in the mirror? Halloumi. This one, confusing a lot of people. Lots of people put goat's cheese. It is ricotta. I had a quick Google. Ricotta is not fully goat's cheese. It's not even nearly fully goat's cheese, so goat's cheese didn't get any marks. Sorry. Number 8, this was Parmesan. You should have got marks if you put anything Italian-y that was Parmesan, but you might not have done. Number 9, Camembert. And number 10 was mozzarella. Some very interesting spellings for mozzarella, making life difficult for us. This is how you spell mozzarella. Go. Don't know what I'm doing. What does the leaderboard look like? We have one clear winning team, and that team is Winning Team Name. So Winning Team Name have so far managed to tell their fortune. Then 1 point behind them, we've got Misses in second place. Then a point behind them, A Tale Never Told. And then we've got a few lingering down below that. Down in bottom, we've got the Finnegy 3, but I think they've only done 1 round, so they don't really count. And then we've got I Hope I'm Last. So we've got I Hope I'm Last at the bottom and Winning Team Name at the top. Isn't that nice? Round 4 is your normal sports round. Just 5 questions this week because I find sports difficult. This is question number 1. In which year did Italy join the 5 Nations Championship, turning it into the 6 Nations? In which year did Italy join the 5 Nations Championship, turning it into the 6 Nations?
Hey, show some love. You ain't so tough. Come fill my little world right up. Someday you're going to realize to fill my little world right up. Hey, show some love. You ain't so tough. Come fill my little world right up. Someday you're going to realize that I'm passing you by.
Question number 2. Which city will host the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games? Which city will host the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games? Question number 3 of your sports round. What score do darts games start at? What score do darts games start at?
People try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. Just because we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation. Hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation. This is my generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. I'm just talking about my generation. My generation.
Question number 4. In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point? In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point?
Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. This is my generation. This is my generation, baby. My generation.
And finally, question number 5. In which year did the Premier League reduce the number of teams from 22 to 20? In which year did the Premier League reduce the number of teams from 22 to 20? Here are all your questions. Get your answers over. You know the drill by now.
Thinking back, thinking of you. Summertime, think it was June. Yeah, think it was June. Laying back, hand on the grass. Chewing gum, having some laughs. Yeah, having some laughs. It made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one. It made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one. Drinking back, drinking for two. Drinking with you. When drinking was new. Sleeping on the back of my car. We never went far. Didn't need to go far. It made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one. It made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one.
I was really missing out. I did not notice that in the YouTube chat there were just cheese puns knocking all over the place. I heard you say it was a cheese round and I was like, damn. I'm stilting these puns? I don't even get that one. What cheese is made backwards? Damn. What cheese isn't yours? Nacho cheese. What did the cheese say to itself in the mirror? Halloumi. This is not very mature. I have to disagree. Oh my word. What kind of cheese hides a horse? Mascarpone. Nothing can get fetter than this. This is... YouTube chat is where it's at, apparently. You mention cheese and everyone gets on it like a... Jeez. What cheese cries the most? Baby Bell. That's not even good. But I like it. Still waiting for a couple of teams, and then we'll be back with the answers. Right, let's do some answers, shall we? So, question number 1. I asked you, which year did Italy join the 5 nations, making it the 6 nations? It was 2000, the year 2000. Question 2 about the next Olympic and Paralympic Games host, well, obviously after Tokyo hosts it at some point, is Paris in 2024. The score that darts games start at is 501, and you have to get down to 0. In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point? Someone put all sports, so clearly not a sports fan there. But the answer was cricket. And finally, in which year did the Premier League reduce the number of teams from 22 to 20? That was 1995. Now, there is one team that put 95 instead of 1995. I didn't see it soon enough and you didn't get enough points. Shout if that was you, and I will give you an extra point. But pending that, what does the leaderboard look like? Well, Mrs., which apparently is Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, was a hedgehog, of course. They just didn't type their team name in right. They've shot into the lead with 31 points, beating winning team name, who now need to work extra hard to get back into the top spot. And A Tale Never Told also there in joint second place, just a point behind first. Round number 5, as always, is the numbers round. There are some horrible ones in here, like usual, because I'm mean and nasty. This is question number 1. To the nearest 100, how many mountains are there in Scotland? The nearest 100, how many mountains are there in Scotland?
Let it never be said the romance is dead, 'cause there's so little else occupying my head. There is nothing I need except the function to breathe, but I'm not really fussed, doesn't matter to me. Ruby, 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 Ruby. And do you
Question number 2. How many millilitres are there in a pint? How many millilitres are there in a pint?
Due to lack of interest, tomorrow is cancelled. Let the clocks be reset and the pendulums held, 'cause there's nothing at all except the space in between. Finding out what you're called and repeating your name. Ruby, 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 Ruby. I do you, do you, do you, do you? Know what you do and do it too.
Question number 3 in everybody's favourite round. How many keys are there on a full-size piano? How many keys are there on a full-sized piano?
Could it be that you're joking with me and you don't really see you and me? Could it be that you're joking with me and you don't really see you with me?
Question number 4. How many roads are there in the London version of Monopoly? How many properties are there that finish with the word road in the London version of Monopoly?
Joanna drove slowly into the city. The Hudson River all filled with snow. She spied the ring eyes on her finger. Oh.
And finally, question number 5. To the nearest 5%, this is the horrible question. To the nearest 5%, what was the turnout at the 2019 UK general election? To the nearest 5%, what was the turnout at the 2019 UK general election? Here are all the questions. Get your answers over. You know the drill.
Look outside, the raincoat's gone, say oh. Look outside, the raincoat's gone, say oh. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. These islands roll southward, sick and exotica. Down to the Pueblo Hudson, New Mexico. Blood is deep, dark turquoise, harmonicas, oh, oh, oh. I saw Joanna down in Seoul, but she took an apartment in Washington Heights. Half of the ring lies here with me, but the other half's at the bottom of the sea. Look outside, the raincoat's come, say oh. 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 Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
In a few weeks, I will get time to realize it's right before my eyes, and I can take it if it's what I want to do. I am leaving, and this is starting to feel like it's right before my eyes, and I can taste it. It's my sweet beginning. I can tell just what you want. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. I can say it's what you
Right, it's answer time. Let's have a look at some of these numbers answers. So, question number 1, to the nearest 100, how many mountains are there in Scotland? Pretty much everyone lowballed this. There are 2,188 mountains in Scotland. So you got marks for 2,200, because that is the nearest 100. Number 2, how many millilitres are there in a pint? I was very mean with this and only gave points for exactly 568. It's 568.2 or something, but no marks for 570 or 562 or because I'm mean and I can. How many keys are there on a full-size piano? There are 88 keys on a full-size piano. How many roads are there in the London version of Monopoly? 4. You've got Old Kent Road, Whitechapel Road, Euston Road, and Pentonville Road. And finally, number 5, to the nearest 5%, what was the turnout at the 2019 UK general election? 65. It was 67.3, which rounds down to 65%. A bit mean if you put 70 and I didn't give you points, but dems to kicks. What's that done to the leaderboard? Well, it has extended the lead of Mrs. Tiggy Winkle's Hedgehog something blatantly. They are now on 35 points, ahead by 2 points. Endgame in second place. Endgame have shot up there. Winning team name in third. They've got a lot of making up to do. And then down in fourth, we've got Tom's Pac-Man Soup Made Me Quiz, A Tale Never Told, and the Hamptoneers. So, with that, I think we move on to round 6. Round 6 is a little bit different this week. Instead of the intro to a song, I'm going to be playing you the intro to a TV show. I'm going to be playing you part of a TV theme, and I want to know what TV show it is. So I'm looking for the name of the TV show. All will become clear when I play you theme number 1. So that is theme number 1. I want to know what TV show that is the theme for. I will play it once more, then I'll carry on. I'll play all of them once again at the end. Right, this is your second theme. This is number 2. I'll play that for you again. This is number 2. And now I will play you number 3, which is this. I will play that for you again once more. So remember, I'm looking for the TV show that these are the themes to. This is number 4. I'll play that for you once more. What TV show is that? We'll move on to theme number 5 now, which is this. Once more. Theme number 6. What TV show is this? I can't even remember what that is, so good luck. I'll play a few again. And this is theme number 7. Which TV show is this from? Play that for you once more. And this is TV show number 8. Once more for you. This is TV show number 9.
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
And again for you.
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
And finally, number 10 is this. And once more for you. Right, I will play them all from 1 through to 10 once each, but you can start submitting your answers and we can start marking them. This was number 1. This was number 2. This was number 3. This was number 4. This was number 5. This was number 6. This was number 7. This was number 8. This is number 9.
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
And finally, this was number 10. Right, get your answers over, we'll get them marked, and then I will go through the answers with you.
Thursday night, everything's fine, except you've got that look in your eye when I'm telling a story and you find it boring. You're thinking of something to say, you'll go along with it, then drop it and humiliate me in front of our friends. Then I'll use that voice that you find annoying and say something like, yeah, intelligent input, darling, why don't you just have another beer then? Then you'll call me up, and everyone we're with will be embarrassed, and I won't give a My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. You said I must eat so many lemons, 'cause I am so bitter. I said I'd rather be with your friends, mate, 'cause they are much fitter. Yes, it was childish and you got aggressive, and I must admit that I was a bit scared, but it gives me thrills to wind you up. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. Well, I'll leave you there till the morning, and I purposely won't turn the heating on. And dear God, I hope I'm not stuck with this one. My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation, and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time
should forget our heart. I've got to know. Does he take you places that I don't? And what happened to the story that we wrote? You just say you don't know. You don't know. Oh no, you don't know. You don't know. Woo! Kidnap the truth and negotiate, or miss the point, aim at you. Just wanna hear you say something that you believe to be true, but you say you don't know. You don't know. You just say you don't know. You don't know what it feels like. What it feels like.
Right. Turn my microphone off. Let's get cracking with the answers then. Lots of people finding the first one difficult. I need to remember how I'm doing the answers for this. I remember. Lots of people finding the first one difficult. Quite an oldie. This is what it was. Noel's House Party. Great theme. I am far too young to remember it, so a lot of you will probably be far too young to remember it. But those that got it, well done. Number 2 was this. It was, of course, Blue Peter. Well done if you got that one right. Number 3 was this. Holby City. Loads of people put in Casualty, but the themes are different, and that was Holby City. Number 4 is this. That is, of course, The Crystal Maze. Most people getting that one right. Number 5 was this. Which is, of course, QI. Number 6 was this. The no longer existent Jeremy Kyle show. I don't know what it says about you if you got that one right, but there we go. Number 7 was this. That is, of course, the original UK version of The Office. Number 8 was this. as, of course, Come Dine With Me. Lots of people knowing that it was something food related. We had a few Great British Bake Offs and Master Chefs, but it was Come Dine With Me. At number 9,
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. I'm no
is,
Superman.
of course, Scrubs, and that was before they mucked around with the theme tune and mucked around with the titles. And the final one, number 10, was this. Lots of people thought this was So I Got News For You. It was not. It was Would I Lie to You? So all the answers up here for you, just in case you didn't get them. Noel's House Party, Blue Peter, Holby City, Crystal Maze, QI, Jeremy Kyle Show, The Office, Come Dine With Me, Scrubs, and Would I Lie to You? I should have done this earlier. Right, that means that in first place this week we have Mrs. Tiggy Winkle is a Hedgehog, of course. A contender for first place in a lot of previous quizzes. And first place before we start giving out mugs. But now I need to work out who it is so that I can give them a mug. So if someone can let me know who that is so that I can get a mug to you. And I'll have to find out which mug is available. And then we're out of mugs. We're out of mugs, but not out of quizzes. We'll probably be back next week, because why not make it 12 quizzes, 13 weeks, and make it the whole quarter of the year. Thanks for playing along. If you were new, we do this every week. It's a mess every week, but it's quite fun. And it kind of caps your Friday off. I'm off to get a nice cold cider. I'll leave you with some music, I guess. See, this is what I mean when I say that there's usual technical difficulties. I was all clever and put in an end screen, and I forgot to put the music on it. So I need to press that, and then that, and then that. No? Oh yeah, there we go. And now I can disappear, and you can still hear the music. See you next time.